Happy friggin' Wednesday. Excuse me, it's not Wednesday. See where my brain is? It's Saturday. It's 4 hours till midnight here in the Mile High City, the Spyderco capital of the world. We're just east of the Rockies. And guys, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be live. And it's Saturday. And I want to start the live by giving a shout out to my man G-Ball Vision, who just recently popped over the 10,000 subscribers mark. Yeah. I was just in his live stream and I got distracted, which is why I'm a single minute late, but we're here. I hate being late. That's one of those things that's really hard for me to get over. Being late. For some reason, it nags at me. So even if I'm a single minute late, I am so sorry. I've been having a great weekend. It's been a busy weekend. But just, you know, for those who don't have the notifications, released a new episode today on a couple really cool knives. If you want to know what I'm carrying in my pockets today, first and foremost, you already know, got to carry this guy, the Sebenza 21, the small Sebenza 21, but also we got a new one. And if you're wondering where this came from, just watch the video. Do me a favor, watch the video. It definitely helps when you guys do that, believe it or not. So that's what I've been up to. It's been a busy week, a busy weekend. I've got a lot more content on the way. It's just been difficult lately for me to wrap my head around it. I had an injury on my hands that made it kind of difficult for me to record there for a couple days because even though I mentioned what happened, everyone wanted to know how I mangled my fingers. But look at that. They're all healed. They're all healed, guys. The butter knife wounds are gone. Some people don't believe me when I said it was a butter knife, but it was. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into the chat. Shout out to my man Marco, first person in the chat. Thanks for being a channel member, Marco. And thanks for being the first person in the chat. Shout out to my man Bluetooth Blades, another channel member. He says, TRM sent me a gift for my channel. Very nice of them. TRM is so awesome. I love TRM. You know, one of my favorite knives released this year, and I know people are like, well, that the Neutron has been out for a while. This specific Neutron has only come out this year, and it's making a very, very strong case in my eyes for a specific award that means nothing, but I give it out on this channel anyways. It's making a very strong case for that. Anyways, love TRM. They're good people. You can't go wrong with the TRM knife, 100%. Very supporting of the community. Absolutely love them. Shout out to Drinkwater, another channel member. Welcome into NFK20. Chris Wares, thank you for being a channel member. Jim Miller in the house. What's up, Jim? Good to see you. We've got Derek. Derek says he carried the CKF Persian, or rather the CKF Persian is on sale for $329 at NC Blades. You know what's interesting about Persian style blades? I don't have a blade shape that I look at and I go, I hate that blade shape. But if there was a blade shape that existed that people love to hate on, it's the Persian style blade or the trailing point blade. And I don't know what it is, but each and every time a knife company comes out with the Persian style blade, there is a massive amount of pushback from the community. They're like, we don't want that. How am I supposed to do my draw cuts? But speaking of which, if you do like Persian style blades, check out the description because the giveaway is still up for a few more days on this guy. This is the Midgards Messer Little Berserker. You can't have this one. This one's mine. This one's staying with me. But I've got a brand new one, which we'll be announcing the winner on a week from today, baby. That's right. The Midgards Messer Little Berserker will be given away a week from today. So check out the link in the live stream description. It's free to enter, no purchase necessary. And while you're there, check out my buddy Mike over at Knife Co. USA. It's a brand new retail website for knives, of course. if the name of the website didn't give it away. Go check them out. Welcome into C. Kobe. Thank you for being a channel member. Broke Ass Knives. Good to see you as well. All right. The chat is going to jump, and I'm going to miss a whole bunch of people. And there it goes. Just jumped. I'm going to scroll up. How's it going, Kelly O'Neill? Good to see you. Joseph S. in the house. We're going in reverse. Hold on. John Blackman, thank you for being a channel member. Good to see you, man. Pocket Razors in the house, guys. Go check out Pocket Razors. Do it. He says, Happy National Knife Day. Is it Christmas in July? It might be. Or at least that's what a lot of people are thinking. Random side thought. It being National Knife Day. I don't know how many people I'm willing to bet that many of you have the email notification set up from these knife retail websites. Why is it that they think that we're dumb? And why do they think that we're dumb? I absolutely hate it when I get an email and they're like, massive National Knife Day sale. And then you look at it and it's not really a sale. It's the same price the knives were at before. They just took a bigger number and struck through it right next to it. Like, we wouldn't notice. Like, we don't know. Like, we're like, despite the fact that we are signed up for notifications and so we know what these knives cost, that they could just add a bigger number and strike through it like they discounted the price. I may have cut myself with a butter knife recently, but I am not dumb. Oh, man. See, Kobe, he says, Rolls, you're not late. You just wasn't early. You're not wrong. How's it going, Greg? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. And the chat's jumping. It's okay. We might just have to move forward. Lone Star Talboy, good to see you. He says the carry of the day is the Cold Steel Voyager Large Tanto. You always carry a big, impressive knife, don't you? I'm telling you, like, every live stream, Lone Star's coming in with some big old cold steel knife that convinces me that he uses that for everything. I know. Toddler approaches you in the street, says, sir, can you cut up my apple? He's cutting it with a cold steel, baby. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being a channel member, Lone Star. And thanks for sharing your carry, man. Let's see. Dean Griffin, thank you for being a channel member. Welcome in, man. All right. Nobody listens to Eric. Good to see you. He says CBRX says butter knives average 30 to 35. We're not getting into that. We're not getting into that today. Although I'm sure he came up with some impressive numbers. Some very impressive numbers. Welcome in, man. Good to see you, Matt Young. Thanks for joining in the live stream. All right. Derek says Harpoon Tanto like the BB Corvus is my favorite blade shape. You know, honestly, this knife has surprised me on so many levels because unlike the Sebenza 21, which to me, it's an old design. Out of the Holy Trinity, the Sebenza design has been around for longer than I've been alive, actually. I was born in 1990. The original Sebenza, the original classic custom handmade Sebenza, was made in South Africa, and I want to say it was 1987. And so it's been around for a while. And while this is a legendary knife design, iconic, some would say, it feels like a 30-plus-year-old knife. It really does. It's still amazing. I love it. But what surprised me about this is that this actually does feel surprisingly updated. And I know Hinderer has gone through several iterations to get to, what is now the new XM18. But these have, the XM18 design has been out for over 20 years. And they've done a great job in making these feel modern. If they would only change the freaking pivot. Somebody over there needs to take charge and be like, Rick, first of all, don't sue me. It's time to let go of the flathead pivot. people are starting to wonder, do you have any Torx head drivers? Like, seriously, what were they thinking? Like, you gave us a freaking pivot option where we could do nylon washers, phosphor bronze washers, or bearings, but we can't get a T8 Torx pivot. Come on, man. For shame. Other than that, I think it's an awesome knife. Welcome into Ian Coates. Somebody's got to keep me in check, and usually that's Ian. Good to see you, Ian. Thanks for being a channel mod, a channel member, all-around legend. Ian's everywhere, but specifically today, he's here. Good to see you, man. Welcome into Dwayne Letterman. Thank you for being a channel member. B Devious says, hello, Rollo in chat. Congrats on the CRK and the Hinder. Thanks, man. I'm truly excited. The beginning of the year, I made it my mission. I said, you know what? I'm not going to stop getting knives made in other countries, but my focus is going to be on American-made knives, because I truly believe that we are at a tipping point in American knife making manufacturing where we are going to be left with only a few companies that really survive. But if you look at what's happening out there, it's kind of crazy. You know, XM18s for the longest time could not stay in stock. Sabenzas for the longest time could not stay in stock. Even Koenig Ariuses are now staying in stock a lot longer than they used to. And I think what's happening is that we're reaching the threshold of what the community wants. We're reaching the threshold where people in the community want innovation. We want something new. We're tired of getting the same thing over and over and over and expecting these companies to just take our money. Now, granted, there's a reason why these classic designs have been around for 20, in the case of the Sabenza, 30 years, and they've been very successful. But at what point, right, do we walk over next door and bug Sal Glesser and say, look, man, the paramilitary 2 is amazing. It's time for something new. Give us something new. Give us something innovative. It's time for a new locking mechanism. It's time for new materials. It's time for innovative blade shapes. Like, there's things we can do. We can start using steels that are really good that we don't see frequently. We can use more ZDP 189. I know manufacturers are crying in their pants when I say that. They're like, please, it's really hard. It's really hard to mill. But there's things that we can do. We can move forward. I'm just ranting. It's good to see you, B Devious. Thanks for joining in. Lone Star says he's a real nowhere man. Beatles meme. I haven't seen that meme. Big Jimpin, thanks for joining in as well. Knife Nut 69 says you can shut your dirty Zon boy mouth. So I really shouldn't just randomly click on messages in the chat. You guys crack me up. Bluetooth Blade says the Hinderer XM18 3 inches just too small for me, but I have two 3.5 inches. So I wanted to start with this one. And the reason why I wanted to start with this one is because it is roughly, it's actually a little bit bigger than the small Sabenza 21. Yeah, so there's, they are competing sizes, these two. And I really like the way the small Sabenza carries. Also, the regular XM18 has a thicker blade stock. So because I carry and I use all of my knives, like, this is not a safe queen, guys. It's not a safe queen. I'm going to use this knife. So because I wanted the thinner blade stock, and because the 3-inch Sabenza fit my hands so well, I wanted to kind of continue that. Now I have the 3-inch versions of everything. I've got, the ProTech Strider PT Plus, which I know it's not made by Strider, but it's the closest thing you can get to a 3-inch SNG. And then, of course, the small Sabenza, and now, of course, the 3-inch XM18. I've got the 3-inch Holy Trinity. Trinity now stands for 3 inches, depending upon who's measuring. But now, Now I want the full-size versions of everything. I want the full-size large Sebenza. I want the full-size Hinderer XM18. I want a full-size Strider SNG. I need both sets. And then when I carry one, I can carry both the full size and the small size. And for some reason, I get a lot of joy out of thinking about being able to do that. It's one of my weird collector quirks. You know, it cracks me up when people leave comments like, "Oh, it's way too much money. You don't need that. You don't need," like, I don't need 99 out of 100 of my knives. I just don't. I have them because I want them. And I would say that most people are probably the same. Welcome into Rhodey. Good to see you. We've got... Did I say hi to Dean Griffin? I must have. If not, good to see you, Dean Griffin. Thanks for being a channel member. If I already said it, I'll say it again. Ian Coates says, as long as I'm in this community, I'll advocate Chris Reeve knives anywhere I can. You know what? I support that. I'll join ranks with you, Ian, because I absolutely have, like, there's no way in hell this is going to be my last Chris Reeve knife. It was my first. It will not be the last. It is not as easy to get as, you know, a million Spydercos, but I think that's one of the things that makes it fun. Oh, so here's, speaking of Chris Reeve knives. So my wife wanted to know, what does Sebenza stand for? And I said, well, it's Zulu for work or worker. She said, oh, that's appropriation. It's an American made knife with an African name. The irony is that Chris Reeve is from South Africa, and he made the first Sebenza in South Africa. It's handmade. And so for anybody out there who did not know this, and I feel like many knife nuts probably do, the Chris Reeve knife lineup all has African tribal names because he's from South Africa. If you didn't know, now you know. It's not appropriation. We don't have to cancel Chris. Leave Chris alone. Good to see you, James. Thanks for being a channel member. Welcome in, man. Ian says, the more people get excited about Chris Reeve knives, the more they'll grow. And the more they'll grow, hopefully, the more they're in stock. Yeah, you know what? It's all about supply and demand. I'm not worried about Chris Reeve knives because they're back ordered like 5 years. They've got at least 5 years of runtime. Hey, Top Dog in the house. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being a channel mod and a channel member.
This is Sparta!
Guys, Spartan, kick the like button for me. Please let YouTube know that we are here. We're live on a nice Saturday evening. B Devious says, I wish I would have got the 3-inch Hinderer. My Hinderer XM18 3.5 came in extremely dull and barely flicks. It's one of my most hated expensive knives that I never carry, unfortunately. So that is in fact one of the reasons why I went with the 3.5. I've got to say that one of my least favorite things about the bigger knives out there is that they generally don't have the best cutting geometry, which is a damn shame, because you can still make a hard use knife and give it good cutting geometry. You absolutely can. I've handled many knives that have, like, for example, the Midgards Messer Thunrar. It has a 1/4-inch blade stock. One of the sliciest knives I've ever had. You can create a knife that has a thick old blade stock that's built for hard use, that still has great cutting geometry. You can. Freaking hatchets have good cutting geometry. They have better splitting geometry, but there's no excuse. There's no excuse, which is why I have some knife sharpening upgrades on the way, because my current sharpening stones are beat. They're beat. And I've got multiple knives that I need to sharpen. And so that's happening. Anyways, it bothers me when an expensive knife does not cut, and I can't explain it. It's like having an itch that you can't scratch. But thankfully, there's plenty of companies out there that'll do regrinds. And I've heard from many people who have Hinderer XM18s that the regrind is the way to go on the 3.5 inch. I don't know. Honestly, the one that I really want is the Bowie knife, which is available now. But obviously, I made my choice. And so, got to recover from this choice first before we make any other moves. Anyways, Lone Star says, wonder if there will be any Sebenza talk this episode. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. It is what it is. Hey, welcome into Todd Carr. Chef Rocky says, I am officially broke as a joke. Charge it. You know, put it on my tab. Why not? Why not? Welcome into Weldon, Carrie. Good to see you, man. All right. I think we're officially caught up with the chat. Officially. Chef Rocky says, happy knife day to you and yours. Love to you and yours. Thanks, man. And the same to you. National Knife Day. You know what? You know what we should do? You know what we should do? We should see about those sales that are out there. Let's do that. And we'll start with some of the popular websites. And hold on. Who should we start with? Let's do NC Blade. We'll start with NC Blade. All right. National Knife Day. Promos listed here. All right. CKF Brat. They say it's normally $550. $440. All right. I'm not too big on the Brat design personally. The Persian, the CKF Persian, $590 down to $329. That is definitely a savings. Look at those scales. Those scales are crazy. You want to know why this is on sale? Because the community loves to hate on Persian blades, and I don't know why. That is a fact. $329. No, I don't have any codes or links for NC Blade, unfortunately. The Davlis in Zircotai and S90. Flipper only. But look at those crazy scales, man. Those scales are bananas. 600 on sale, $600. I do like the way that looks, and I do like the Zircotai accents. I think that looks really, really, really cool. I love what they did with the handle scales too. Still, on sale for $600. That's pretty expensive. They've got the CKF Justice, which is a Tashi Barucha design. That looks sweet with the hand satin finish. On sale for $525. We'll keep it going. Not a bad deal for a Rotten Evo T. I gotta be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest, guys. Like, they get points for doing for trying a Tanto blade. I just can't do. I think that the Tanto version of this knife is not good looking to me. They should have just done only the current style, like, which is what, a big bellied Bowie knife. Say that 3 times fast. Big belly Bowie. The Microtech Matrix has been on sale in this $300 range for a while, so that's not necessarily new. But I will say this. I reviewed one at the beginning of the year, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Reich crushed it. And they probably did a better production job than Microtech is capable of doing. But little birdie told me that the relationship between Microtech and Reich is probably, if not most definitely, ending soon. So, if you want one of those, if you want one of the Reichrotechs, A few things that you should know. The first is that the quality of the manufacturing is outstanding. Reich has some of the best manufacturing capabilities of any knife manufacturer that mass produces knives, period. And I'm going to say that is including Riyadh. But that is why they're going down in price. And if you want one, you should get one, because once all the microtechs are gone, the chances that they're coming back is probably nil. You heard it here first. Same reason why the Annex is on sale. All right, what else they got? Ooh, this is a good one. I kind of want this one, guys. I kind of want this one. American-made Heretic Medusa manual. I kind of want this one. We'll see. We'll see. I was actually talking with my guy over at Heretic day before yesterday about some new models they have coming out. And we're going to get some new Heretic knives on the channel, which I'm really excited about. It's in the mail as we speak. Not this one. This one's not in the mail as we speak. But I do hope that I get an opportunity to check this one out soon. The sale price is solid. These released, they sold out initially at a higher price point, but I really like the fact that they're delving into them. And I will give you a tidbit. Something that I'm really happy with Heretic for is that they realize that the market is shifting, that people are tired of spending a lot more money on knives. And traditionally, they make knives that are more expensive. They're a smaller operation, American made. All of their stuff is done in-house for the most part. And word on the street, according to my contact over at Heretic, is that they are going to be lowering the barrier of entry when it comes to the price on some of their new knife designs. And they're also innovating, which I am really excited about. So there's going to be some new designs coming out from Heretic that are not, you can't see them. Like, they're not on any website yet. But I have it on really good authority that this is a company we should be paying attention to, especially if you like American-made knives, especially if you've been pining for innovation. They're working on it, guys. They hear you loud and clear. And hopefully we get the first opportunity to continue to check out their new models, because from what they told me, I'm really excited. Let's see what else is out there. All right. Manual Pariah with the white camo carbon handles. Nice. That's dropped down to $470. I want to say, see, the strike through price on this being $553. I don't think that that's quite accurate. I want to say that these were sitting right there at $500. So it's still a discount based off of what they were at, but it's not as big of one as NC Blade is saying it was. Quit playing with my emotions, NC Blade. Don't do that. Anyways, it seems like there's some that are a good deal, there's some that aren't really much of a deal, and there's some that look like a deal, but they're really not. Why isn't the Bodacious on sale? This is the knife everyone wants to be on sale. Come on, NC Blade. Make it $180. Do it for me. Do it for daddy. Make it $180, please. Please. Is it going to happen? Probably not. All right. I've monologued for far too long. Let's go ahead and check out the chat. Welcome into Josh. He says, I want the damn Ozark trail knife, but I can't find it in stock anywhere around me. Why do I hear so much gossip about the Ozark trail knife? Can someone explain this to me, please? What's so good about the Ozark trail knife? I keep hearing about it. Maybe I need to find one. Ian Coates says, davless or dadless? Potato, tomato. Ian says, is it tanto or tanto? I say it both ways. If I have to say tanto twice in a row, I'll say it both ways. And then at least I get one of them right. It's a numbers game, Ian. Come on. C. Kobe says, not been to Rec today. All right, let's go ahead and go there. I feel like we've exhausted NC Blade. Let's go to River's Edge Cutlery. Let's see what they got going on. Please give me something exciting. The new Venom Jack is out now. I won't lie, this one actually tempted me. The green one specifically. But I had other American-made plans, okay? All right. Do they have a sale going on? Do they have a sale going on? Sale. All right. It looks like we got some pry bars. We got some fixed blades. Bestech Slasher. Bestech TARDIS. Yeah, don't care. Let's see. Come on. Tour Knives XT1 Bravo. Come on, show me something really cool. The XT1 Alpha. Wait. So I'm going to scroll up here for a second. The XT1 Bravo, S35 VN, titanium and carbon fiber. And then the XT1 Alpha is full titanium and S35 VN, and they're around the same price. The G10 version is only like what, $40 less? Yeah. I don't like it. Chroma Paramilitary 2 scales. Not a big fan of chroma material personally. This is a knife. Okay, so here's one that I'm very curious about. And I kind of wish that they had I'm kind of interested in this one because of the blade shape. So check this out. This is like, I'm sure that you would call this a clip point, but it's kind of like a clip point buoy style. G10 D2, $74. Okay. It is that's a steel frame lock, right? Yeah, I want to say that's a steel frame lock. It's a HEA design. Look at that blade though. Like, Boker, you've interested me. I just wish that was titanium and not G10. And CPM D2 instead of regular D2, please. Come on. Not seeing anything so far that's really jumping out at me. Ooh. Okay, these are out of stock. Okay. I think we're in the out of stock section now. Bummer. Okay. While we're here, I wonder what's new, or rather what's coming soon. Do they have anything cool coming soon? Oh, they got a Spyderco drop coming soon. Okay. Nothing that's really shouting at me to pay attention. All right, show me something really cool. Come on. They got a lot of Vostids. That's cool. Got some Remettes right on. The Blackbird Blades Crackle. This one looks interesting to me. Titanium, two-tone, MagnaCut. I wonder who makes... Oh, it's bestech. Okay. Interested. Color me interested. It is $300 though. I feel like they could have done a little bit better on that price. Just a little bit. All right. I'm not seeing anything too crazy here. We'll do one more. Let's go over to DLT. You never know when they're going to update their drops. So we'll start with their drops. TRC Knives. I think that's a fixed blade. Another fixed blade. They've been doing a lot of fixed blade drops recently. Venom Jack. Okay. Ooh. What's this? The Nicholas Nichols. The Nicholas Nichols Dreadnought. That's crazy. We've got burnt bourbon barrel inlays. So you can feel like a real man. Give me my whiskey neat. Give me a bourbon. That's a lot of bourbon barrel inlays. And the reason why they list all of these separately is because these look like this is a super small batch. Like, you can pick the number. And so that's going to be one product. First come, first serve. You want number 4? One person gets to click the buy button. After that, it's gone. But I'd bet you any amount of money that the one that sells first is going to be this guy right here with the Mexican blanket micarta. That actually looks pretty cool. It's $575. Damn. Oh, no. Magna cut at 61 to 62.
Epic fail.
Just don't advertise it. Just don't advertise it. At 61 to 62, that's my preference if Magna Cut's going on a fixed blade. You need to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Damn. For $575 anyways. Slab style construction. 3D milled titanium pocket clip. All right. Sheep's cleaver? A sheaver? What do you call modified sheep's foot? There we go. That's the safe way to label it. That'll be available in 3 days, 12 hours, $575. Nicholas Nichols, Magna Cut USA. It's not going to be the hardest steel, and there's nothing wrong with Magna Cut at 61 to 62. The reason why I boo-hoo about it is because with Magna Cut, you really need to pick what you want out of the properties. Okay, the blade geometry aside, at 61 to 62, you're prioritizing your corrosion resistance and your toughness. So that's one thing. That's a choice. At 62 to 65, you're prioritizing your edge retention. Your wear resistance. I should say wear resistance, not edge retention. Edge retention is different than wear resistance. People don't understand that. But the reason why I specifically want it higher than 62 is because you don't have a massive drop off in toughness between, say, 61 and 63, but you see a large improvement in the wear resistance. And so you get better edge retention overall. You get better edge stability overall on a folding knife at 63 than you do at 61. With a lot of steels, you bump it up a few points on the wear resistance, and it will tank the toughness because the blade becomes really, really brittle. And you don't want that. You want a nice mix. I recently did a video, and I say recently, I think it was 3 weeks ago. I need to do another Steel Snobs video soon. I recently did a video where I did a deep dive on what I consider to be the true sweet spot for Magna Cut on the HRC. And if you haven't seen that, I think it's actually my least popular Steel Snobs video.
Epic fail.
Please go watch that video. Make me feel better. Anyways, 61 to 62 is not improperly heat treated. I boo-hoo because at this price point, I would truthfully just like to see it at 62 to 64 would be the range that I would suggest aiming for. Not that I'm a knife maker. Not that I should complain. But that looks like a sweet knife. If you're in the market for a new American-made knife, this is not one that you see all that often. That's pretty cool. And you can get it in the burnt bourbon barrel inlay. And you get it numbered, too. You can get it in a Mexican blanket micarta. Not something you see every day. I can appreciate that. All right, chat. I'll stop monologuing. Let's catch up with the chat. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Snot Reg says, Riot or Rayot? Beats me. I have no idea. I wonder what it stands for. How to pronounce So I think it's Latin. Let's see if we can figure this out.
Reate.
Apparently it is Reat. I stand corrected. I must be wearing my orthopedic shoes today. I stand corrected. According to this, it is Latin, and it's Reate.
Reate.
Can we get a more human-sounding voice, please? Please? That robot voice is kind of freaking me out. All right. Definitions.net. Help me out here. Help me out here. How did we get here? I don't know. All right. I'm giving up on this. What does Reat mean? Okay, so according to the AI overview, in British English, Reat is an archaic noun that refers to a type of crowfoot. What the f*** is that? In American English, Reat is an archaic term that may also refer to a type of crowfoot or co-build frequency band. It's a town that was founded in 8th to 9th century BC. Okay, I give up. I give up. It means what it means. It could just be a nonsense word. I have no idea. I give up. We'll say that it's Reat. We'll do that. Bluetooth Blade says, I have the SOCOM Bravo. It's a beast. Nice, man. The microtechs are really well made. They really are. Drinkwater says the Medusa manual looks cool. Yeah. I definitely want one. I'll be 100% up front, at least appearances wise. And you can't trust what things look like on the internet because pictures can be misleading. Sometimes a knife looks like it has amazing cutting geometry, and then you get it and you're like, what happened to this? The Medusa manual, the one thing that I'm really curious about is how good of cutting geometry it has. And this is a question that's important to me because I use my knives. So to me, I am curious how good the cutting geometry is. And that's the only question that I have. Derek says, when is the Nix going to be in stock? I would say, I think that they're going to be launching production versions here in the next couple of months. I would say probably sometime in the early fall, I believe. I would look for it in the next couple of months. Rhodey says, I have a Mexican blanket micarta for my 3.5 XM18. It's pretty cool. Right on, man. I've never handled that kind of micarta before. Knife Nut 69 says, that's the thing Laren has said. MagnaCut has better toughness at 63 to 64. The steel just doesn't behave like most steels, and I think that's why a lot of manufacturers don't do it right. I mean, again, you get better corrosion resistance and better toughness out of MagnaCut at a lower Rockwell hardness. And Laren does have graphs up, and I've alluded to these in my Steel Snob series that shows what happens to the toughness of MagnaCut. It's actually a very gentle curve. At 65 Rockwell, MagnaCut has the same level of toughness as CPM 10V at like 60. That's crazy to me. You get the same kind of toughness you get out of CPM 10V at 60 HRC that you do out of MagnaCut at 65. That's insane. That's insanity. I can't believe it. Hey, welcome into Ant. He says, oh snap, you all see the new Colorful Filth Northern Knives Demco 20.5? I have not seen it yet. Hey, welcome into PNW Funworks. He says, Rollshambo, I have a question for you. Is 1080 and 15N20 a good blend for Damascus? I'm looking to get a concept Fenrir, but aren't sure about the steel blend. So I'll be completely upfront about this. I am not a Damascus expert at all. I will say this, most companies that do Damascus are going to do a less expensive version, usually something that includes like VG10/9CR. The purpose for most Damascus steels is going to be aesthetics, unless you're looking at Damasteel or Damacore. Those steels focus not only on performance, but also on polishability. Polish, believe it or not, is actually something that's important in knife steels, because the higher the polish that a steel can attain, the better the corrosion resistance too. Polish is one of those things that improves corrosion resistance. And so unless you're looking at Damasteel or Damacore, I would not look at Damascus for anything other than aesthetics. That is purely my opinion. Especially most Chinese companies that I know of, use some kind of VG10/9CR proprietary blend of herbs and spices. Not that I've ever had any issue with, say, for example, I've had a civivi in Damascus, performed fine. I want to say it performed like 9CR. I've had, what other Damascus blades have I had? I don't really do Damascus. I usually go for the performance steel over the Damascus steel. Ron Crow said, welcome in, Ron Crow, and thank you for being a channel member. He says, did someone say Crow? I've now said it 4 times in 3 seconds. Good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Josh says, so a crow's foot wrench is a Rayot wrench? I have no idea. Jim says, I can hear my Latin teacher screaming from wherever she... Don't give her the link to this live stream. Don't do it. All right. BNW Funwork says, okay, thanks. I'll keep looking. That's why I asked. I'm iffy about it. It only really matters depending upon how much you plan on using the knife. That's kind of the flip side, though. Because most people look for Damascus because it's aesthetically pleasing, it's pretty. Most people that get Damascus are not planning on using the knife. It is purely a collector buy. So I would say this. Don't base your decision off of the performance of the steel unless you're planning on using it frequently enough. Because I'll give you this example too. I have never seen anyone hard use a knife in Damacore or in Damasteel. Not only, and that's the irony, is that those are the true performance-oriented Damascus steels, right? But they're also super expensive, which means that people have a much lower likelihood of using them frequently. That's the irony behind it, is that those are the most expensive Damascus blends, right? Damacore, Damasteel. And they're built around being performance oriented, but most people that buy them aren't going to use them. If you love the way that it looks, I would say go for it. I'd say go for it. Why not? Jim Miller says, I just sent 5 figures to the IRS. I'm in deep. Oh, sorry to hear that, Jim. The freaking IRS, man. Ain't that the truth? Lone Star says Damascus is as a single steel, or are we talking ham and Egger pattern welded varieties? I mean, Damascus is my understanding of Damascus. And by the way, I am by no means, I'll say this again, I am not educated on Damascus, or what was it originally called? Like Woots? Anyways, pattern welded steel varieties generally have my information on Damascus is that you use several different metal types to get a true Damascus, and it's forged rather. So several different steels. That's why it's a proprietary blend. These companies almost never tell you what steels go into their Damascus because they don't want to let that information out. It's proprietary. There are some pattern welded steels out there that don't perform very well at all, and they're just for looks. And then there's some out there that are just Damascus patterned. For example, if you go to Amazon, you can't trust half the Damascus pattern steel on there. You just can't, because usually it's not even real Damascus. Leafy Wiggy says, I think the Fenrir is a Damas steel. I don't know. We can look though. Let's see. Let's go to Concept's website. Damas steel knives are usually really expensive, so I'm skeptical that the Fenrir is actually true Damas steel. I'm skeptical. Fenrir. All right. Says Damascus blade. All right. Damascus. That one's kind of crazy. Look at that. This one's special hand engraved. That's bananas. If you wanted a $1,400 Fenrir, there you go. Hot damn. You don't say. Absolutely bananas. They don't list it as Damas steel. And trust me when I say they would if it was. They would if it was. Because that is a massive selling point. This is cool. They now have the 80s camo carbon. This is the one I would go for out of the new updated versions. I like the fact that they actually bought up some stock of the camo carbon fiber. I think that was a great move for Concept. It brings some diversity to their current models. I like that a lot. All right. Back to the chat. Neil McKenzie says AR RPM 1000 plus steel. I have no idea what that is. Snotrake says only the finest Pakistani car bumper Damascus. All right, you know what? Let's give some examples of what we're talking about here. We'll go to Amazon. And we'll just type in Damascus pocket knife. I would bet you any amount of money that this Abe Damascus pocket knife with clip is not real Damascus. I would be willing to bet that's not real Damascus. I would be very shocked if it was. What's another one? Usually you can tell the fake ones because usually the fake ones, they try to do like a copper stripe through the middle. Hold the phone. Handmade Japan Damascus pocket knife. Handmade. Right. $86. I promise you guys, I would not trust this at all. At all. Not even remotely. Not for a second. Like, for example, we know the civivi is going to be real Damascus. We know that. This is real Damascus. What's their Damascus based off of? No idea. But we can assume. This makes my eyes hurt looking at all of these cheap Damascus blades that are probably not even Damascus. I can't do it. I'm bailing. You know what? Let's go over to the members only Discord. Shout out to all the channel members in the members only Discord. I appreciate you guys for being a part of the Discord community. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Let's go ahead and check out the pocket checks from today. All right. Where does it start? Okay, it starts here. Mark P has got, oh, that's a beautiful. That is a beautiful benchmade 940 reblade. Take a look at that guy. That is gorgeous with the, so it's got aftermarket titanium scales with the benchmade the REK reblade. That is beautiful. If only Benchmade would actually make a knife like this. They should hire this man. Absolutely. That is gorgeous. We're going to go ahead and give that a fire emoji. That is beautiful. Let's see. Tactile rock wall. Keynesen knives. I forget what that's called. It's named after... Keynesen always does the knife models named after dogs. The Devo Buzz. Or is that the... It's not the Buzz. Hold on. Don't tell Lefty that I screwed this up. It's the Mash. I mixed them up. It's the Mash. And then that is... I have no idea what this one closest to me is. So we're going to pass on that. This was my carry today. Of course, the Hinderer XM18 3-inch. Took some photos for you guys. Tried to make them look good. And then, of course, the small Spenza 21. What a great carry. We've got a handful of knives here. We've got... Ooh, is that a cold steel Kobun? I don't know what this one right here in the middle is, but I know that that is a Schillen cutter style blade. Looks like we've got a full-size cold steel Engage. An old slip joint, which I am not entirely sure which one that is. And then not entirely sure on that Kaiser on the left side either. That looks pretty sweet, man. Look at all those. Damn. There's a Recon Tanto next to the Kobun. He's got all the cold steels. Chris Waris is coming in hot. He's got a Spyderco Paramilitary 2. And I'm not entirely sure what that is on the top. What is that on the top? We're scrolling in. It's a Buck something. Not entirely familiar with Buck's lineup. Ooh. And that is the Sparrow... gosh, that looks so good. The Sparrow Strix. I wish I had gotten in on those when they were available. I really do. I really, really, really do. That was one of those that got away. And I said, you know what? There will be more. And there was never any more. Oh, man, that's a good looking knife, man. I want one so bad. All right. Kevin Smith, he's got the Tempest Jetstream. Looks good. Love it. And then one Sneaky B, he's got the, I'm guessing that's the Compadre and not the regular Padre. That's the Compadre, right? And then there's the Tyrant. I know that's a Tyrant by, is that Exceed Design Company? Kershaw Livewire. We got a couple tactile turns and a Baton 3. Very nice. We're going in reverse because it jumped all the way to the bottom. Jim's coming in hot with the CRKT Minimalist Bowie, the Asher Sparrow with the bar lock, the Devo Pony Stout OG, and of course, the American Dream in the background. Love it, man. Thanks for sharing the beautiful scenery today, Jim. We appreciate it. All right, and I think, hold on, we got more. Dazed is coming in with a beautiful, beautiful Spyderco Shaman with Applied Weapons Tech scales. I like it. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Thanks for sharing, guys. And please, if you're a channel member and you haven't done so yet, drop on by the members only Discord. All right. And boom. Head back to the chat. M. Houston says, is there ever going to be another run of the Strix? I sure hope so. Please, Greg Schaub, if you ever watch my channel, please come back with another run, another production run of the Strix. The people want what the people want, and we want another run. Lone Star says that is a Master Tanto fixed. I thought it was the Kobun. I will take your word for it, though. I think you know a bit more about the cold steel than I do. Todd Carr says, generally speaking, with Damascus, you are paying a premium for steel due to the extra processes that are needed to make the actual steel. A single steel of higher quality will always be cheaper. I mean, I can get behind that. Something that a lot of people don't take, that a lot of people take for granted when they look at a value proposition for why something should cost what it costs. People always zero in on the material cost, like here's the raw materials. So why is there all this other cost? The raw materials are never the full story. In fact, I would venture to say that if we were to break it down, the cost of what it takes to make a knife like, I don't know, this guy, I'd be willing to bet that the manufacturing involved is far, far greater cost than the materials themselves. I've been thinking of the best way to do some research on this topic because I want to make a video on why knives cost what they cost, but I want to dig deeper than surface level. So I might be looking into that, seeing if I can get some insider information on why knives cost what they cost and why it's unrealistic to compare a knife made in the United States cost versus a knife that's made in China cost. Speaking about a great knife made in China, absolutely love this Vosteed Psyop. It is still one of my most favorite knives released this year. Absolutely love it. Ant says they would be crazy not to do, excuse me, he says they would be crazy not to do another run of the production Strix. I agree. Absolutely. Jim says, Greg says there will only be custom Strix. That's a disappointment. That is a disappointment. Excuse me. All right. I know I've been monologuing a lot tonight because my voice is starting to go. That's why I carry the water right over there, because I recognize that. But the timing does not lie, guys. It is officially 3 minutes after 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which means that the live stream is coming to an end. I want to say thank you to everybody that joined in the live stream tonight. For everybody that is watching this on the replay, thank you for your presence as well. Guys, the next time we'll be live is Wednesday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, or 7 p.m. Pacific. I hope you can make it. If you can't, I totally get it. So, for some of you guys, I will see you soon. For everybody else, I'll see you later.